157 pounds. Along with Jim Gibbons, I'm Mike Cousins. There's Ryan Thomas, the redshirt sophomore from Southwest Ohio, getting ready to take the mat up against not who he thought he'd be seeing tonight, number 19 ranked Peyton Robb, who did not make weight for Nebraska. So instead, it's the junior from Norfolk, Nebraska, Caleb Licking, stepping in for the 10th and final match.
Yeah, Peyton Robb didn't make weight. And it's, the facility. Here's what happens. You have to have the weigh-in at the arena that you're doing that. And so these guys go to work out before at the Minnesota practice facility, which is several blocks away. Left what he thought was on weight. You get one chance to go across the scale. He didn't check his weight. Kind of freshman mistake, and thought he was on, and his 10th over. And here we are. Fortunately, Thomas, Licking weighed in, and he gets the nod.
To the Nebraska native rather than Robb, the native Minnesotan. To get the start here at 157 against Thomas, 15-8 and a 4-3 mark in the Big Ten.
Coming up against the finish, they're waiting hands.
First two for Licking. Thomas coming off of a loss last weekend against Caleb Young of Iowa in overtime. It was a 5-4 finish, one that Brandon Egg of Minnesota's head coach said showed a lot to him about the fight he was able to give in what was otherwise a pretty much lopsided victory for Iowa, which has been the case a lot this year.
Yeah, there were several physical matches in there, and again, it was a blowout as far as I was concerned in the final score, but there were, the Gophers were presenting themselves pretty well. But this situation here, where Licking comes out, gets that first takedown, and gets both boots in, and he's cranking on those arms. Good sequence for him. Only have 40 seconds of riding time. Both legs in. He almost got to pick a side with those legs.
1 minute to period.
The referee's going to allow him, just going to stay in there with both legs in. That's darn near impossible for somebody to get out of it. And a lot of times you get stalemate call. So you know guy has leg right. Okay, so you know that you got to keep those pockets between your elbows and your knees closed down. Those legs don't come in easily, and it's also a good idea to be a moving target. And what happens when you come up into that, quad pod stand up here, where you come up off your hands, come up off your knees right there, it really invites that leg to come in, and see how that leg came in so easily on the right side.
30 seconds.
Trying to get to almost yoga's version of downward dog.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's what that stand-up looks like, okay? So what you want to do is you really want to go ahead and switch or something to be a moving target in there, so when the guy goes to put the leg in, you may not be there.
Licking's takedown is the difference thus far. Short time, first period, with the meat in hand in favor of Nebraska as the Huskers are on their way to their 6th straight dual victory. 57, an interesting weight too, where three-time All-American Tyler Berger wrestled last year, and he's now the volunteer assistant after graduating and wrestling under Mark Manning in his 20th season as head coach.
Had a fine season last year, going against one of the best we've seen at 57 in a while, Jason Nolf. Not clear what the sequence is, what's happening at this stage. Mat return.
It appears to be some type of interrogative from the Nebraska side, although I'm with you, not exactly clear as to what the line of questioning was about.
Got a giggle out of Eric Lurkey, the official, so no, I think it's about choice, whose choice it was. Okay, and they want to go ahead and defer. We'll get started here again.
A fight to the very end.
Looking for a quick stand up here. Finds himself with a nice lead. 3-0, 146 a riding time.
Well, what's that like, too, for a guy in Licking's spot where he last year wrestled at 157. And he comes in here, you've got a guy who you imagine is going to be the starter. And a very unusual occurrence. All of a sudden, your name gets called.
Hey, you got to be ready. I mean, fortunately, he was. He was. You bring a lot of guys on the trip just because you need workout partners, and he was the right field partner. But he is making really a lot of use out of his equity right now. Speaking of which, Thomas with that tough match against Caleb Young, really not building off of that. You're going really well with one of the better wrestlers in the weight class, and now you find yourself wrestling record.
You've given away your background as a financial advisor by using the term equity in wrestling.
Those days are gone. Enjoyed that though. Worked out pretty well.
Thomas has battled injury throughout his career, had surgery last year, and an injury hampered his start this year as well, although a close one against Iowa last weekend. Didn't get into the dual starting lineup until January 17th against Michigan State.
It doesn't really have that penetration on his shot, so he could drop down to the knee. Now, short time, looking at another opportunity to score. When we do that, he's really gaining momentum.
On the leg with just a second to go. Runs on goes for the trip. It's on to the third period. Game of the year in college basketball. We are getting closer. Noon Eastern, Kansas, Baylor, #1 versus #3 in a Sonic blockbuster that could decide the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Baylor's won 23 straight. Kansas has won 11 straight. Second time they square off this year. Tomorrow, noon Eastern, on a full day, and maybe the best day in terms of head-to-head ranked matchups, 1s versus 2s in conference play in college hoops.
Looking to see whether Thomas will try to hit his go-to shot. What does that look like? I think he has a pretty decent single leg there. Gets to the leg. Okay, he's trying to come up. Gets a quick takedown. Notice how he's giving up that wrist position there. He doesn't have control of his own wrist. He's able to settle back. Wasn't able to get the far leg, and now Licking is in on a little shin wizard there where he grabs a hold of his own leg and now he squares up, burning a lot of clock and actually putting himself in a favorable scoring position with that rear ankle right.
And he turns the corner for 2 to extend his advantage to 5-0 with riding time as well, make it 6-0 for Licking.
Well, this match makes that bus ride home go pretty well. You're thinking, okay, the freshman didn't make weight. Now another guy steps up, gets a big win against a wrestler that looked pretty darn good last week.
You would have thought Mark Manning, as we were sitting with him on the mat before this match started, you thought he saw a ghost when found out that their starter was not going to go at 57.
Yeah, he just turned, just like somebody put a sheet over him. He just turned, just a different color, and
he ran his hand back through his hair. He went, oh boy.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it'll end up as a 29-12 team score victory here for Nebraska as they rattle off their 6th dual victory in a row. And that's quite a way to close out the regular season, but Big Ten is just 2 weeks away.
Great call on that, Mike. Good win for the Huskers here today, and now they go into 3rd place alone in the Big Ten schedule. And exciting match here for Licking, and look at his teammates mob him here. They're really happy for this guy.
And we talked about this with the coaches before as well. You have an open weekend next weekend. Big Tens are coming up in 2 weeks at the Rack in Piscataway, New Jersey. It's time to get healthy and time to tailor everything you're doing to be peaking in championship form for championship season.
It's all about qualifying. All right, it's staying healthy, qualifying for the national tournament, right? Keeping those dreams alive of being an All-American, maybe become a conference champion, conference place winner, get on that podium,